I just fucking up and died. I told you, solve all of them, but the most important one. But anyhow, I keep sensing this, and they're all looking at me like I'm weird. They're like, Lisa, what the fuck? But I can't tell them anything. I can't even talk about this with Trev because he's just gonna be like, Lisa, that's a bunch of bullshit. And then when it fucking happens, they'll be on their hands and knees and begging me for forgiveness. They'll be like, I fucking told you from the get-go. I don't want to fucking go through this again. I don't know what's worse because this was in my head a couple of days now. Like, I don't know which you guys would rather. Would you rather be in pain, right? Like undergoing the pain yourself, or putting someone through that pain, right? That's what's been like swirling in my head for the last couple of days. And I feel like the second option's 10 times worse, right? Like I feel like I feel so sick afterwards if I was putting through through some kind of pain. You know what I mean? I got lucky when I ended up there, right? I told you guys like everybody there's like near death, right? They're either their spirit's dead or their bodies are gonna kank out just now, right? So I got lucky when I showed up. Wait, hold on, I'm going too fast. With Trev now, because I know he's like near death, I have to give him something of mine to keep on him, but I don't know how to do it in a way where he's not gonna like leave it, right? Because he'd be like, I don't know what to do. Because I know if we're in the car, I could hang something from the mirror when I'm not there, right? Because at least a piece of me is in the car where it can't affect him, right? But if he's on the job at work, I don't know what to do. Because we're in separate sections, right? Like, I don't, like, by the time I reach, it might be too late. I need to know what he always has on him and put something on him that is mine, right? Because then they like I told you spirits aren't gonna kill me off because I'm too fucking valuable for them. But if they do anything to my brother, then I'm gonna fuck them up. Anyways, we got lucky at this place because the guy who like the position Trev's in right now, the guy before him that had it died, right? So one day the guys are like working, right? I can't go in there because boss didn't give me correct shoes. I need shoes for that. He doesn't want me to go in there, but I go there anyways. Do as I please. Should have known that after meeting me, right? Anyhow, Trev said while they were rummaging through the trash because they had to dispose of some stuff, he said they found an angel. And I was like, what in the fuck? Well, he didn't tell me. Aaron told me. Right? Trev was busy actually like doing things. Aaron told me Trev found an angel. Right? And when you walk to the door where Trev's desk is, there's like a cabinet there right by the door where I could go in from, right? But I never go in from the door because boss's office window's right there. He's gonna watch and be like, Lisa, why did you go in there? I was like, I lovingly want to visit my brother, but then he's gonna be like, Lisa, what the fuck's wrong with me, right? So I anyhow, I can't tell him, oh, my brother's near death. That's why I'm constantly near him because I know I can't die, right? Like he's gonna be like, what in the fuck are you on? Anyhow, yeah, according to Aaron, Trev found an angel in the trash while they're disposing of certain things, right? And they've got this big cabinet right by the door So they placed the angel there, and Aaron said we're gonna build a shrine for Mike, which is the guy who died before Trev got that position for where he is now. So I'm always thankful. Like I pray and I give I'm like grateful to Mike for just dying, because him dying like helped my brother so much, and because my brother is in that spot now, it helped me get there now to help the rest of them in that building who could have he died in that place, right? But I can't sense anything because something's wrong with the building. The people in there, they're missing an element to their energy that I can't read, right? So where Trev's desk is, Mike used to sit like on the end where the cabinet is, right? And I heard he died around there. So Aaron's telling me, he's like, oh, by this cabinet, we're going to build him a shrine since we magically came across this angel, right? They placed the angel on top of the cabinet. I didn't know how big the cabinet was because I always walk past and I don't look at certain things, okay? I just like, I'm on like airplane mode when I do shit. So if you guys don't reach out and talk to me, I'm not going to like interact. Right? Like how I told you, the one lady in the office like told me, it's like, did you know it was pajama day? If she hadn't told me anything, I wouldn't have known, right? Anyhow, we'll call her Honey. I'll come back to that story, okay? Yeah, so they're building the shrine now. As I'm at my computer doing work, he's like sending me updates on my phone because he knows I got headphones in and I'm listening to music, and I'm like, I gotta keep fucking pausing the song because he's giving me updates on what's going on over there, right? I was like, so help me, this better be important. So they're building the shrine now, right? So Aaron's like, the guy was a diabetic, right? Mike was a diabetic. So he's like, I'm gonna go, he put a chocolate bar on the angel, and he said Mike had glasses. We're gonna put glasses on the, like, they're having a lot of fun with it, right? I forget what else they put on it. There was one more thing. I don't remember because it's too high up for me to look, right? Someone would have to like lift me a little bit, or I need a ladder, like at least 2 steps up for me to see. He said on the text he sent me the pictures there. Fuck, I wish I could have shown you guys, but anyhow. Yeah, they built him a little shrine there. So every time I walk past there, I always make sure to like be grateful for like him dying, right? But I don't know if I'll get to meet his spirit or not, or if his spirit's in there. I don't think his spirit would have left lingering there. I low-key kind of want to light a candle and leave it there, but that's so dangerous. Because they're not by their desks when they work. Anyways, yeah, Aaron sent me all of that, and I was like, oh my god. Mike's not the only dead guy. There's a lot of dead things roaming about in there. Like, I feel the people are dead, then, like, it's really weird. So then, one day, I don't remember, I think it was a Friday, right? And our computers weren't working, right? But I felt it was like a spirit presence, right? Because I was like, someone's not letting us work today. And I was like, this worked to my advantage because I was like, I feel really tired. And I was like, you guys know that like my abilities only work when I'm asleep, right? So I was like, okay, this is the only chance I'm gonna get to fall asleep in this place and like feel my soul leave my body and see what's going on here, right? Because then no other opportunity is gonna come up. So like as I'm like reaching sleep, I can feel the spirits in the place, right? But like it's like a weak signal. It's not like strong like how I feel like when like now. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with this place. Like how I went to the funeral home and I can sense whether there's dead things or not there, or like when I'm like out in public spaces like malls and things, like I hate going to those places because I can feel the dead things roaming about on people, right? But like I'm like half asleep here and I can faintly sense things here, which is not normal, right? When I woke up, it was pretty much pointless. Because I was like, I can't really see anything. I was like, I feel like something's wrong with me, but I know nothing's wrong with me. I finally can like live a little normally here, right? But anyways, I'm always grateful for Mike. When I fell asleep there, I tried to see if I could sense the other people's energy in the office, but I can't unless they're like outside, right? I kind of worry if any of them are like actually have like physical problems, like if any of them collapse, my bitch ass is too weak. I have no upper body strength. If I have to come and haul somebody out of there, like I couldn't, right? Like if it's a life or death situation, I fucking can't. I would have to ask Jack. I'll be like, Jack, this is health and safety. Like, does life and death, is that like listed anywhere underneath there in the manual? Oh my god. Even Yogi told me, he said like a lot of people died in there, and I was like, oh my fucking god. Can I be one of them? I remember like Jack was telling me, he's like, Lisa, if there's a fire, would you burn along with the building? And in my head, I was like, yes, Jack, yes, I would. But he's looking at me like I'm crazy. I was like, I swear to God. I gotta turn on a light. It's getting so dark now. It's 8:41 now. Let's see if we can talk till 10 o'clock. If I go any later than that, I'm gonna be so tired tomorrow. Let me turn on the light. Oh my god. I gotta turn this one on. I left the fan running because Tonesy overheats. Anyhow. Shit. Okay. Let's talk about work stuff, and then I'll get to what you guys want, which is talking about you guys. But I don't know if I'll be talking about it here, because we might run out of time. This is gonna be like a 3-part vlog. I was like, oh, the vlog's halfway done. It's never fucking done. Okay. At this point now, you guys are gonna ask me why am I working now, and what do I do for work, right? Because that's probably like in your head now, right? I told you guys I hate being here, right? I can't really talk about it, but like this environment's really abusive, right? So I've gotten to my breaking point now where it's like, if I don't fucking get out of here, I'm gonna die, right? So if you're asking me why I'm working now, that's why. I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. And then, what do I do for work? You guys know how quickly I can sift through different pieces of information in a short amount of time? That's what I do. Right? Like, my brain's functioning at like 100 miles per hour. I'm sifting through, I'm looking at numbers and letters all day. That's all I'm looking at. If that answers your question. If not, like, I can't say more than that. Because I'm not supposed to in the first place. I shouldn't be in that place in the first place. I told you guys this once before too. I'm not made of magic, right? Because I keep seeing the magic cards come out. I'm not made of magic, but I'm able to draw it out of you guys, if that makes more sense. Like, you guys are the magical ones, not me. My ability to pull it out of you guys is why you guys keep calling me magical, which is really weird. I've already served my purpose. Like, me being alive right now is so pointless. Anyhow. Yeah. I'm not the magical one, you guys are. I'm just able to reflect it back so you can see. Some of you already realized that, some of you haven't. Wake the fuck up. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what to tell you guys next because my thoughts are all over the place, right? Because I have to deal with you guys. I have to deal with y'all. I have to deal with the stuff I'm seeing with the spirits. I have to deal with the shit going on here. I gotta deal with work. Okay, someone cut me a fucking break. Oh, you know what we can talk about now? Because I just... Okay, let's talk about Lucky now. So the woman that trained me my first day, or first week, I don't remember how long. I just remember it went by so fast. We get along well too, but anyhow, Michelle and them, on their side of the office, they have plants, right? And this woman now, she's got a money plant, right? And I guess she gave some of them. So then when I was on that side talking to Michelle about certain things, I'll come back to that too, okay? As I'm on that side talking to her about certain things, I recognized the plant because I've seen it on her desk, right? And I was like, where did you get that from? And she told me, like, oh, I got it from this person. I was like, okay. So then I asked her about it, right? I go up to, we gotta give her a name. The first thing that comes to mind when I think of her is her sketchbook, because all she does is draw, right? So I guess we should call her an artist then. But then, like, that's weird for me to call her that. It's like me calling the other one Snack. Anyways. Their names are too, like, specific. That's why I'm not calling them by their name. Anyhow. I go up to her, right? And I ask her, I was like, how come everybody's got this plant? Right? And she said, oh, you want one? Here, take this. And I was like, no, I wasn't asking for it. I was just saying, why did everybody get these plants, right? Because there's no sunlight in the office, so they're not going to grow properly. What the hell? But I can feel the life coming from these things, right? So then she gives me the one on her desk. She's like, here's, like, it's in this little... Michelle called it, she said, I like your cocktail. And I was like, it's not that... She had this little baby money plant in this cocktail cup glass thing, right? Because I had to go past Michelle's desk to go and water, and she's like, what the fuck? Anyhow, Michelle must be so fucking bored out of her mind, because the other day, we're having this conversation, and she's like, Lisa, suppose like a zombie apocalypse happened. And I was like... She's like, Lisa, what if we get infected? And I was like, oh my god, Michelle, you're gonna get affected right away, but I'm not, because my soul's not completely thing. So I'm like, I'm good. They gotta bite me a good couple of times before that happens, but I can't tell her that, right? But anyhow, oh my god, yeah, if we were going on and on about fucking a zombie apocalypse. Oh yeah, and I found out Snack likes, she's talking to me about, like, movies, right? And she's like, oh, I really like King Kong, Godzilla, like those kaiju type movies. And I was like, what in the fuck? We were talking about that for... I'm like, they gotta be bored out of their minds. But what kind of conversations are we having nowadays? Anyhow, back to the money plant, okay? she has this little money plant in this cocktail glass, right? I end up getting it, and I was like, I don't want it, but she gave it to me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take care of it. She gave it to me starting in May, right? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take care of this plant for a month, and then I'm giving it back to you, okay? Because I don't have first off, okay, point point, I don't have space on my desk, and like point B, like I don't have any place for it to run. Like there's no sun. Like I don't like there's too much responsibility. Like I didn't sign up for this. What the hell? So she agrees to it. She's like, okay, take care of it for a month and then hand it back, right? If it becomes too much of a problem, she's like, send it back. Because I told you, like, I've been out of the garden. I don't want to go back and having to look over plants. That's like one of the things I hate. When when someone tells me I have to cook, or if I have to watch a plant grow, I really fucking overlook the growth of a plant. I really fucking hate those two things. Because I've done them so many lifetimes. For someone to force me to do it again really fucking pisses me off. Right? I'll do anything. So like, hold on. When I was talking to Mary at the front desk, right? Because they have barbecues that happen every so often. She's like, Lisa, you gotta go learn and cook, right? Because she asked me if I cook, and I told her no. And then she's like, that's a life skill you're supposed to know. And at that moment, I was so pissed, right? Because I was like, their souls are so much younger than mine, right? And I was like, I'm like, Lisa, don't cause a scene, don't fucking like argue back. I was like, ugh, like I'm trying so hard to calm down because I'm so upset in that moment. Because I was like, fucking cooking is not a fucking life skill, you piece of shit. I don't need to fucking hear this. I wish I had headphones in at that moment because I really didn't want to fucking hear that. Cooking is a fucking art. If you know anything about cooking, you would know that, right? It's not a fucking like life skill. They're so fucking annoying. Cooking's not a life skill, it's an art. But anyhow, any of you who disagree with me are fucking wrong, okay? Also, cooking deals with a fire energy, and I don't like seeing that because in all my lifetimes, things have gotten fucking... they take all my things and burn them, so I fucking hate it, right? Anyhow. Yeah, they wouldn't know what fucking life skills are if it fucking hit them in the face. So I hate when they bring that shit up. And then with gardening now, because when I was in the garden, I would always have to... How do I... Okay, in the garden, okay, when you look at it, me in the garden, because I told you I'm not like... every lifetime after the one when I met them, I'm always overlooking the garden, meaning I'm taking care, like if you guys are plants, right? I'm overlooking your progress and making sure you grow and the garden is thriving, even though I used to be part of the garden. But then shit happened, and then I no longer want to be the gardener. I left the garden, right? So being in a position like this now, where I'm asked to overlook the progression of a plant now is pissing me off because I never want to return back into a place like this. Because most of the time, it's a very ungrateful position to be in, right? Which is what I really hate. It's always at the last moment or when things are too late and everybody gets on their hands and knees and begs me for forgiveness even after like I've done everything I possibly could. You know what I mean? Like it's sickening. But anyhow, she gives me this plant now and she doesn't understand like how much of how much inner turmoil I have after like she's handing this to me. I was like, oh my fucking god, no. I'm trying to avoid this. I've been looking after plants all my lifetimes. I was like, not again. I don't want to fucking go through this again. But she agreed to it. She's like, okay, take care of it for a month and then give it back. I was like, okay, as long as it's not mine. I'll babysit this thing and then I'll give it back to you, right? It's doing really well now. It's so big now. But anyhow, I didn't want it to be near my energy because I can feel the life through it. It's really hard to explain, right? I told you guys I can sense the energy of living beings. Plants being one of them, I can feel it. It's no different than if a spirit was here with me, right? But what I liked with having that plant on my desk for that month is it's telling me all the secrets going on in here, right? Like it's talking to me. That's before I had headphones in all the time, right? Yeah, it's talking to me, right? From what I know, the plant's a girl, but I could be wrong. Anyhow, Yogi's gonna be like, what the fuck you gendering plants for? Anyhow, I tell Yogi about this. I was like, yo, I'm like babysitting this plant, right? And I was like, I don't want to name it because it's not mine, right? But I was like, I need to give it a name. So I tell Yogi, I was like, can you help me give it a name, right? And he said, why does it need a name? And I said, so it grows better. But I didn't tell him it's because I can hear this thing talking, right? Um, um, so he's looking at me, and he's like, he's looking me dead, and he's dead ass looking at me, and he said, name the plant Lucky. Because that's how he feels when he's around me, right? Like, every time Yogi's around me, he said, like, good luck happens. But he doesn't understand the fact that, like, I read energy, so I'm, like, counteracting all the bad things that happen to them, right? They know they're noticing this, but they're not understanding and they don't believe in it, right? Which is makes it 10 times more difficult for me and driving me nuts, right? So it makes me hate being like just existing, you know what I mean? Yeah, so he's dead ass looking at me and he calls the plant Lucky. He said the plant's name is Lucky, and I was like, why Lucky? And he said, oh, we don't know if it's a boy or a girl, don't gender the thing. Anyways, yeah, so I'm bonding with Lucky for like a good month, right? And then I return Lucky back to right, like I give Lucky back. And then the other day she showed me because Lucky outgrew the cocktail glass. She went to go get a fish bowl and she put Lucky's living in like this little fishbowl aquarium looking. It's so cute. So I was like, oh my god. Um But yeah, I find it strange. All the plants, like I can feel them living, but this is the first one that's interacting back with me. So I don't know. I told Lucky to take good care of its owner. Anyhow, every time I go, because she doesn't show up early in the morning. When I go early in the morning, I talk to Lucky for a bit before I go sit down. Fills me in on everything going on. But no one's gonna believe me. Like, fucking nuts. Anyhow. Yogi has a really bad habit. So when Lucky was on my desk, he used to rub, like, he's got this rubbing problem. Except for when it comes to me, he won't touch me, but everything he touches, he's gotta go like this. Right? Like he goes like this. My computer, Lucky, everything. The fucking everything. Everything he does this. And he's like, I was like, what? He's like, I've got the Lucky touch. He said I have to do this. And he said, but he doesn't do that to me because he knows luck comes out. Like he's assuming it's like how you guys say it's magic. He assumes it's luck coming out of me, right? Like I don't know how to explain. It's fucking weird. My life's fucking weird. Anyways, yeah, let's explain. Okay, while we're on Yogi, let's talk about Yogi, right? I told you guys about when I was in the car with him. Every time I'm in the car, I can read his energy, right? I guess like his energy's gotta relax or feel more freed before I can read it, right? We're in the car, and I think his guardian was in there, right? Because the next thing I felt the energy go off, and I felt like I don't have the ability to drive, but I feel when I'm next to Yogi, like I can feel it going off. I feel like I'm gonna learn it from him, right? But like now I'm in the situation where I'm like what, like, oh, if you guys were in my position, what the hell would you do, right? Like I can't drive, but I know he's the one that's gonna be able to like help me with that, right? But I also know that if he knew I could read and all this stuff going on, he wouldn't want to be near me. He wouldn't want anything to do with me, right? Right? So now it looks bad on my end. It looks like I'm using him, right? But I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like I need him to help me here, but I know like he's not gonna want me around. You know what I mean? And it's gonna look like I'm using him and I don't know what to do. You know what the strange thing too is? Yogi's car's blue. Oh my good god. You know what I noticed too when I'm in the car with him reading his energy? Like his energy is like a perfect balance between like if an angel and a devil had a child, because the way he does things, it feels that way. Like for example, if we're gonna go get food, right? He said he's gonna be like, Lisa, we're gonna like drive through all the red lights to go and like make sure someone's not starving. You know what I mean? Like he does everything in like a like you have to break some rules to like like bad things have to happen before like a lot of good stuff has to happen. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like his energy feels really balanced in that way. Like it's such an angelic tendency, but he's doing it in such a devilish way. Like I don't know how to explain. Like everything he does is like that too. So when we weren't in the car, but I think we were like, I don't remember if we were outside or what, because I remember talking to him, but I don't remember what we were doing or where. But we were talking about the boss, right? I don't remember if it was before the car situation or after. It might have been after, but I don't remember. And he was telling me, he's like, you don't notice how depressed the boss looks nowadays? And I was like, he's depressed? I thought he was just tired, right? Because from reading him, I know he's tired. No sadness cards are showing up. And he's like, Lisa, the man looks so depressed. Look at his face. And I was like, my desk is here. Supervisor is here. Boss is here. You expect me, and he comes in late. You expect me to focus on him while I'm trying to focus on what's going on here? And the man never has time to talk to me. It's only now he's starting to talk to me after what happened the last couple of days. But anyhow, okay, so let's start talking about this now. I was like, Yogi, why the hell? Okay, Spill, why is he depressed? Let me hear your 2 cents on this, right? And he said, the boss's girlfriend is in the next province over, right? She's got 2 kids or whatever, and he's thinking about marrying her and moving over there or some shit like that. I don't remember. I'm a terrible listener, right? But he's telling me all this shit, right? I'm like passively listening because I'm like, I've got other things. Like I'm worried about, like I gotta deal with you guys and other things that I'm not paying attention to what's going on in front of me, right? Yeah, so he's telling me like all the tea about the boss, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, Yogi, doesn't he have a child? I thought he was married. And he's like, no, Lisa, the man's got a child, but he's like single. And I was like, what? He didn't tell me this. And I was like, that gives me more reason to like stay away from him, right? Because I was like, it looks bad